Welcome all. We will start on time 11 a.m. Welcome all of you on behalf of Samartha Group of Institution, College of Engineering and Polytechnic. So yesterday we started our the online short-term training program on JavaScript. So today is the second day. So I think first day you have done or you will get the knowledge from Sham Pandav sir. So today, without wasting the time, we will start our second day session. I request to all participants, please mute your sound and don't disturb to the screen also. Okay, at the time of training, there are some participants doing the something on the screen. It will be visible to all participants. So I request to all participants, please do not touch or do not do anything on the screen. So today I heartily welcome Sham Pandav sir. He is also joined for today's session also. So at the end of session, daily we are taking the attendance as well as feedback from. So be careful for that thing. And after we will monitoring your daily attendance, and after that we will give the certificate also. So everyone must join and up to last stage. So I request to Sham Pandav sir, welcome and please start the session.
So, am I audible, sir?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So, let me first share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I believe you are able to see my screen.
Yes sir.
Okay. So, welcome to the day two of this workshop. So, yesterday we have covered the basics of the JavaScript and how JavaScript run behind, like execution context and the basic functionalities or basic data types like string, number. So, in the day two, we will focus on the functions. The function is the, we can say, the heart of the JavaScript, and then we will move towards advanced data types like arrays, objects, and confusing keywords in the JavaScript is this. So we will cover also that. Okay, so without wasting time, so let's see. Like other languages, you know the functions. Function is the collection of the statement grouped together. Okay, so on the screen you can see one very simple function name with show message. So in JavaScript we have to write the function as keyword, then the function name, parenthesis. There is other way also for declaration of function, we will also going to see. And here just I am using the console.log hello. Okay, so we will see actually the working of the function in JavaScript engine. So we will not write the function, but as you know, the function is the collection of the statement. So let's see the working of the JavaScript code. Okay, so on the left side, if you see, I have written one code which is very simple. On the first line, I am declaring one variable with the name x, giving it value as 15. Then I am calling this function before it is declared. Okay, so I declared function on the line number 6 and calling on line number 4. And in this function, I am declaring one local variable with the name x, assigning value 2, and console.log, and that x will be logged into console. And the 11 line, again same line is written. Okay, so we will see the working of this code. Okay, so this is the very advanced concept, and we will in this we will revise the execution context that we covered in the yesterday's session also. So please be attentive for this. Okay, so as I said yesterday, so before doing or before running any of your JavaScript code, JavaScript engine is doing much things behind the scenes which you actually don't see. Okay, so first I will run this code. Just a minute, let me change the file name. Okay. Okay, so okay, so first we will go through the code onto the how the theoretically this code is should be work. So on first line, the JavaScript engine will not do anything, like it is an empty line. When we encounter line number 2, which is variable x is equal to 15, then as you know, the execution context is divided into two parts. One is memory and another is code. This memory is also known as the variable environment, as we have seen yesterday, and code is the thread of execution. Okay, so in the memory creation phase, like the JavaScript is run code two times. First for the memory, allocating memory to this code, and then actual execution of the code. Okay, so in the first iteration in the memory allocation section, so JavaScript will see this variable x and put it into the memory section in the form of key pairs, like just you see, and place one special keyword in the JavaScript which is undefined. Okay, so the JavaScript engine will put into the memory value of the x is undefined. Okay, so then it will go to line number 3. So it is not showing anything on the line, so it will again move on the line number 4. So this is function invoking, so it will not do anything in the memory creation, because in this function we are not giving any energy we will not giving any memory to this line number 4, because it is just a function invocation. On line number 3 again empty, but on the line number 6 we have function. Okay, so what execution context is doing in memory section for the function, so it is actually copying all of the code of the show message function. Okay, so it is actually copying all the code, like variable x is equal to 2 and console.log. Actually this will copy all the code and place it into the memory section or variable environment section. Okay, so up to line number 9 we have covered. Then again line number 10 empty, and on line number 11 there is no need to give the memory, because we are not declaring any variable and function. So overall we have see in the memory creation phase, the JavaScript engine will allocating memory to only variables and the function. Okay, so this is the first iteration of the code. Then again JavaScript will go from all your code. Okay, so again it now we will execute actual the code. Okay, so on line number 1 JavaScript engine will not do anything because it is empty. On the line number 2, the JavaScript is encountered with the variable x is equal to 50, and then it will look that variable. Whenever you write any variable into the file, then JavaScript first look into the memory phase. Okay, so it will look for the variable name x into the memory, yes, and it is got as undefined, so it will replace that undefined with the value 50. Okay, so let me replace that value with the value 50. Okay. 1 minute. I will create another message. X is equal to 15. Okay. Next, it will move on to line number 3. It will not do anything because it is an empty line. On line number 4, this is the main part. Okay, so we are invoking the function, and the function invoking means we are calling the function, and the function declaration means we are declaring or we are writing the function. Okay, so on line number 4 we are invoking function. So for every function you have written in JavaScript, there will be execution context already created. Okay, so let me create an execution context. So for each function, JavaScript engine will create separate execution context for it. Okay, so it will create another execution context. Okay, so now you can see here, this is the box which is execution context for this show message. Okay, and this is the global execution context which is for the whole code. Okay, so again this is divided into the two part, memory, code, and again the process started from the 0 for this function only. Okay, so again the JavaScript engine will encounter the variable, and suppose you have passed some arguments to this function also, or parameters to this function also, then also JavaScript engine will give the memory into the memory execution section for this function only. Okay, so to avoid confusion, let me write here show message execution context. So okay, so this is global execution context, and this is execution context for the message. Okay, so now again the process starts from 0 for this show message function. So again we are in the memory creation phase. So again JavaScript engine will find variable x, then it will give the value as x and put that special keyword undefined. Okay, as then on the line number 8, it don't have to do anything in the memory creation phase. Okay, so memory creation phase is now done. So for this function only, the JavaScript engine will move towards the code section for this function. Okay, so in the code, the JavaScript engine will assign the value 2, and it will look into the memory creation phase, and it will find, then it will replace. Okay, so as it is there, so we will replace that. Okay, so x2. Okay, and then this function is logging the value of x. So as I see the code, JavaScript engine is working on this execution context. Okay, so whenever you console.log the value of x, it will search into the local scope only, right? It will search into this function only, and yes, it is getting value x as 2, so it will console that value onto the log as 2. Okay, so output for this line, let me write here 2. Okay, and then the function ends. Okay, the closing parenthesis means function ends, and actually the execution context for this show message actually gets cleared from the global execution context. Okay, so now it is nowhere. It has done his work, like printing the value on the console. Okay, the function ends on the code on line number 10. Then again on the line number 11, it has to log this value onto the console. Okay, so it will find x onto the memory phase. Okay, so yes, it is finding as 15. Then again it will print the 15 as a value onto the console. Okay, so this is very simple, but let's look into this. Some student might think that we are declaring the variable x here, but it is local, and this line number 11 will not be able to access this variable because it is local, and we have seen how it is becoming local and how this x it is becoming global. Okay, so if any students have a problem with this or any doubt, please put it onto the chat box. Okay, so some people say screen is not visible. Sir, screen is visible or not?
Actually, screen is visible, but participants, when you have to see the code or when you have to see the white screen, that time what you have to do, you have to just zoom out that particular screen. Right now, we have to see the two screen, right? व्हाईट स्क्रीन म्हणजे तुम्हाला दोन स्क्रीन दिसत आहेत, एक व्हाईट दिसते आणि एक कोडवाली ब्लॅक स्क्रीन दिसते. ज्यावेळी श्याम सर समजून सांगतील त्यावेळी तुम्ही ब्लॅक स्क्रीन म्हणजे कोड सांगत असेल त्यावेळी तुम्ही ब्लॅक स्क्रीन झूम केली तरी ती तुम्हाला दिसेल. कारण आता त्यांच्या लॅपटॉपवरनं दोन्ही स्क्रीन आपल्याला दिसत आहेत, बट आता मोबाईल असेल तर त्याचं निश्चितच त्याचं स्क्रीन थोडी कमी असेल. तर पार्टिसिपेंट्सनी ते समजून घेताना ज्यावेळी ते कोड समजून सांगतील त्यावेळी ब्लॅक स्क्रीन झूम करा आणि ज्यावेळी ते व्हाईट बोर्डवर समजून सांगतील त्या मेमरीशी रिलेटेड त्यावेळी व्हाईट स्क्रीन झूम करा, म्हणजे तुम्हाला दोन्ही व्हिजिबल राहतील. नो प्रॉब्लेम सर, गो हेड.
Okay, so if any student have any question, then
कारण मी पण सेम त्याच पद्धतीनं आता लेक्चर अटेंड करतोय की ज्यावेळी तुम्ही कोड समजून सांगताय त्यावेळी मी ती ब्लॅक स्क्रीन झूम करतोय आणि ज्यावेळी तुम्ही मेमरीशी रिलेटेड समजून सांगताय त्यावेळी व्हाईट स्क्रीन झूम करतोय. त्याच्यामुळे तसं केलं तर पटकन व्यवस्थित होईल. ठीक आहे.
Okay, so actually it is not an option in Zoom meeting, I think.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, so
Please go ahead, sir.
After the Prasad has one doubt. Can't see even Zoom, sir. Can you answer, please? He is not able to see the screen after the zoomed in also. हॅलो सर.
हा. अरे एक काम करा, झूम तुम्हाला कसं दिसेल, तुम्ही फक्त ती जी तुमची स्क्रीन असेल त्या स्क्रीन वरती फक्त बोटाने झूम इन झूम आउट, जसं आपण एखादं पिक्चर वगैरे किंवा इमेज पाहण्यासाठी आपण करतो ना, थोडस फोटो त्याच्यावर मूव्ह करतो बोटाने मोशन, तर त्यावेळी ते दिसून जाते. मी आता त्याच पद्धतीनं करतोय. आता हवं तर स्क्रीनशॉट आता मला शेअर नाही करता येतं तुमच्या सगळ्यांसोबत, तर त्या पद्धतीने केलं तर होऊन जाते. आला प्रसादचा मेसेज, गॉट इट म्हणून. डबल टॅप, ओके. त्याच्या मोबाईल मध्ये डबल टॅप स्क्रीन आहे ऑप्शन. ठीक आहे, काहींचे ऑप्शन तसे असू शकतात. ओके. हा.
Okay, so if you have any problem, I will again share the screen. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so now you know the theoretical concept. So let's write some code and see it into the browser. Okay, so where it is? Okay, okay, so let me open. Okay, though I have written one HTML, this is similar as yesterday. Okay, so just I have included one script. Okay, function dot not function function one. Uh, okay, we will see for it on the function only. Okay, so now you know the theoretical concept of this code, like how it is working in the JavaScript engine and how it is printing on the console. And you can see that the on the console the value is 2 and 15 is already printed because I have already run this code. Okay, so now we will see, actually we will put the breakpoints on this code and actually see the whatever we see in the theoretical or the whiteboard, we will see similar things in the browser. So you will get to know the theoretical, or you will able to manage the theoretical concept as well as practical concept. Okay, so as I already uh, run this code, so let open that file here, name it function.h. Okay, so this is the similar file you can see. Okay, so I will introduce this concept, what is call stack. In the call stack, actually the JavaScript engine for managing the context, like global execution context and functional execution context. So JavaScript is actually using the stack data structure, and if you know the stack data structure, it is last in first out. Okay, so whatever the function executing, it will give as higher priority than the global execution context. We will see that, don't worry. And these breakpoints, whatever the breakpoints we are putting on or putting over the code, it will shown here. Okay, so let me put breakpoint. So I have put a breakpoint on line number 1. Okay, so you can see in the breakpoints the function.js, the line on the line number 1 we have put on the breakpoints. Okay, so let me refresh the page. So after refreshing page, the code will stop execute onto line number 1. Okay, so you will say, sir, on the line number there is nothing, but JavaScript is still doing its work. Okay, so if you see, there are lots of things ongoing and the page is continuously refreshing. Okay, so if you notice in the call stack anonymous, it printed, this is the global execution context, right? So whatever we saw, this execution context, GEC short form, global execution context, so this is named with anonymous. Okay, so because the global execution context is given name as the anonymous by default by the JavaScript engine. Okay, and if you want to see the values, okay, so let me increase. Okay, so if you want to see the global variables, like the whatever the values you can access from this global. Okay, so you can see that. So after putting breakpoint on line number 1, the code stop executing before the line number 2. The meaning of this blue line is the code stops executing before the line number 2. Okay, so I have said before executing any of your line of code, like before executing one line of code, JavaScript is still doing lots of things, like putting undefined for the value of x and copying the message. Okay, so where we can see, if you go to the global, okay, so there are lots of or many global variables you can access, or many global functions. Okay, so we will see the values which we required. Okay, so here you can see x is giving values are undefined. Whatever I explained in the theory, you can see before executing any of the line, the JavaScript engine will show the value of x as undefined. Okay, so you can see x is giving value undefined. Okay, so after, so let me put the breakpoint on line number 4. Okay, so before that also the show message code, I said the actual code is copied to the global execution context. Okay, so let's see where the show message okay, so you can see here the show message actual code is copied to the JavaScript memory creation phase or JavaScript engine. The actual code is copied by. Okay, so here you can see the show message function before executing the phone. Okay, so on line number 4 again I have put on the breakpoint. Let's move next. Okay, so again if you see, it is invoked a function and it is successfully executed line number 2. So let's see whether the x has gets value 15 or not. Okay, so if it will get the value 15, then it is correct. Okay, so you can see the x is has now the value 15 and not undefined, because JavaScript know what should it put into the value, into the variable x. Okay, okay, so you can see the value now, the value of the x is 15. Okay, then after the invoking function, let's see what is happen. So I said that the whenever you invoke a function, the new execution context is created. Okay, so observe this call stack, the new execution context will be created. Okay, so I forgot to show you the just a 1 minute. I will again run this code. Okay, so as you can see, this is the global execution context, and then I will put breakpoint on the line number 7. Okay, so you can see on the call stack, the new execution context is created with the name show message. Okay, so as I said in the theory, for every function, the JavaScript engine will create new execution context. So you can see this is the arrow which is pointing show message. So this is stack data structure. Okay, and you know that the onto the global execution context anonymous, the JavaScript engine will, and whenever you add new element, it will append to the top. Okay, so show message appended to the top, and the top pointer, like we have seen in the data structure, the top pointer will point to the show message. Okay, so here you can relate the concept of the data structure and the actual working of the arrow, the practical example of the data structure. Okay, so the current execution context is the show message. So, and it also has its local, as I said, it also has its local variable. Okay, so here you can see the value is again for this show message, value is again x is equal to undefined. Okay, so because I have put on breakpoint, that's why value is still undefined. Okay, so let me put breakpoint on line number 1 again, then x will replace by x will replace by 2 in the place of undefined. Okay, so you can see the x is now became 2. Okay, so after I have, after the function get executed completely, so this we know that the stack work on the first last in first out. Okay, so the show message will get out of the stack, it will be removed because the function has done its work. Okay, so let's see whether it is uh, okay, so I have again run this. Okay, so you can see that the show message is completely vanishes from the stack or get removed from the stack. Because now the control goes on to the line number 11, which is again printing X value. Okay, so before it is printing or 2 or not, let's see. Okay, you can see it has successfully printed 2 onto the console. Okay, so yes, we are theoretically seeing the correct. The value is printed 2. Okay, so on line number 11, what should it print? Whether it is 2 or 15. Okay, so JavaScript, what I said, JavaScript will find the value in the global scope. Okay, so let's see what is present in the global, the value of X that will be printed. Okay, so yes, it is 15. Okay, so let's see whether it will print 15 or not. Okay, so yes, it is printed 15 because it is finding in the global execution context, because the control is on the anonymous, that is the global execution context. Okay, so after again executing line number 11, the all the element or all the execution context from the stack get removed. Okay, so let's see, just observe this anonymous, it will get removed. Okay, okay, so it is opening new files. Okay, so I will remove that breakpoint. So as you can see, the anonymous is get removed from the stack successfully, and we have onto the console we have the output as 2 and 15. Okay, so now you have seen the concept, the theoretically also, and how it is working on the browser also. Okay, so see the next, we will see the next code. Okay, if you have a problem, then just zoom it and you will see the code. Okay, so please please find the output of this code. First, let me ask you whether you are able to see the code on the VS Code or not. And if yes, then try to give the answer what it will print on the console log. We have just seen the concept. Please answer that. So let me zoom it for you. Okay, so now you can see the code. So let me explain code for you. On the line number 1, I am declaring one variable which is global with the value 10. And then on line number 2, I have written one function print message, and then local variable declaring message with the value hello everyone and logging that message onto the console. Then invoking function on line number 7 and printing message onto the line number 9. So please give the answer what it will print on the log. Just we have seen the concept of the local variable and the global variable. So by doing these types of example, you will get to know the local scope and global scope very easily, and I have also seen it on the browser. Local, hello everyone. Yes, any other? So Pratiksha Jadhav has given answer for the local. Okay. Any other want to give the answer? Okay, so Jadhav Pratiksha given the correct answer for the local scope. It is hello everyone. Yes, the line number 4 will print. Yes, Shital Vora also given the answer correct. Okay, thank you. So on the line number 4, the JavaScript engine will find the message. It should print message. Okay, so it will first find onto the local scope. Okay, so it will find, yes, it is successfully find, and it will print the hello everyone on the console. Okay, and when the function ends, right? After the line number 7, the function execution end. The code gets on the line number 9. Okay, so after the execution of the function, the execution context is deleted, okay, for the print message. Okay, so execution context is now deleted. There is no function. Suppose there is no function onto the line number 2, so it will try to access message which is nowhere. Okay, so it will give you an error. So let's see whether it will give a. Okay, so as you can see onto the browser, it has given the error, message is not defined, because the message is local to this print message function, and the global variables or global execution context not able to access this message. So that's why the error we have get, the message is not defined because it is the local. Okay, so next, but you can access the variable, global variable in the function. Okay, so let me show you. So here I am just printing x, here also printing x. Okay, so now, okay, as you can see, the local, this print message able to access the global variable, like this is the variable x which is global, and this function can access the global variable. Okay, because it is in the context of the global. In the drawing we have seen that we have drawn the global functional execution context in this global execution context, so it can easily access the values from the global execution context. Okay, so we have revised the yesterday topic also, and don't worry, you have not understand still. We will again with the new example we will see that. Okay, so on the line number 9 again it will printing the x, and yes, it will find onto the global, so it will automatically easily print the line number 10 onto the console. Okay, so let's move towards the next part, function. Okay, so this is the same example, this is the message which is the local to the print message function. We have seen that. Okay, okay, so this is the some tricky question. If you observe carefully, this code actually looks similar, but just the basic difference that I tell you. On this line, user is equal to Nishan, and here I am defining user as a late with the keyword late and assigning it value as a Nishad. Okay, so in the variable section, yesterday session, we have covered that this user is equal to Nishan. Whenever you write variable without any keyword like var, let, const, without any, it will become global. Okay, and it can access the global variable. We have seen this yesterday. Whenever I am repeating, whenever you don't write let, const or var in front of the variable name, then that variable will become global. Okay, and here I am defining the new variable for this print message function, which is local to the print message. Okay, so I am explaining the concept local global again and again, because it is very important. We don't try to declare the variable into local scope, because it will create some security issues. So that's why please use the local variable only, so that the other function or other should not modify the function which is belonging the print message or any other function. Okay, uh, so we will see this code in the, so this is the code which is onto the left side of the, yes, okay, so let me show you the browser. Okay, so this is the function. Okay, and you can see this is the global variable. Again, this is the local variable for this function print n, and on line number 6 we are printing hello. So whenever it find user, so it will try to find it in the local scope. Yes, and it is finding as a Nishan. Okay, so you can see these two codes are looks very similar to each other, but just the effect of the let keyword. So we will see the what let is doing here, and how the code behaves like this. Okay, so it will give differently output for this code 1, and it will give completely different output for 2. Okay, so let me run first function 3. Okay, so you can see it has given alert as Shubham. Okay, so where Shubham is coming from. Okay, so as you can see, this is the first line. It will not do anything like printing anything. It will just declaration on function. It is not invoked, so it is not executed. And the control goes to the line number 10, user. So it will find user onto the global scope. Okay, so it is finding as Shubham. Okay, so it is alert. It will give alert as Shubham. Okay, so on line number 12, we are again invoking the print message function. Okay, and the context or the thread of execution goes to line number 4. Okay, and we are declaring one new variable for this print message, which is different than this user because it is local and it will create the separate execution context. So that's why it is not get overridden by this function. Okay, and we are giving the value Nishan. So next it will should print hello Nishan. Okay, so let's see. Yes, you can see it is printing. If you zoomed out, you can see the value it is printing hello Nishan. Okay, so after that, thus again the control goes to the after completing the function, the control again goes to the line number 14 onto the left side. Okay, so it should print again Shubham. Okay, so you can see it will printed Shubham. Okay, so let's see another code and you will see actually the function 4. Okay, so now, okay, just 1 minute. Okay, so I will change this code itself. Okay, function 3 only. Okay, so now you can see whenever I don't write any keyword in front of the variable, it is becomes global. Okay, so let's again run the code and you will see the different output before, because up to the line number 9 we don't printing anything. So again we will go on to the line number 10 and it is printing user and it will get it as Shubham. Okay, it is we have saw, and again now we are overriding the value of the global because we have not made this variable as a local. It will get the value because declare in the memory creation phase it will not declare because it will not find any keyword like let const. So it is overriding the global variable and it will put the Nishan value in place of Shubham. So that's why it is printing hello Nishan. Okay, up to this is correct, but what will this the difference is come between the two codes is on the line number 14. Now it is printing alert user. Okay, so what should it print because we have overridden the global variable. Okay, so that's why it should print Nishan now 9. Okay, so before this code or before okay, so now it will print again Shubham. Just the use of let, you can see the code is completely behaving differently. Okay, so that's why please use appropriately keywords like let, where, const, and also try to make the variable local. So that's why you will not come to this problem. Okay, so next we will move toward up to that. Up to this point, is anyone having any question? Please try to put it onto the chat box, else we will move ahead. Yes, I will wait for 10 to 20 seconds, then we will move ahead. Okay, Sheetal saying no question. Sir, continue. Okay, so Dadav Pratiksha has asked one question. What is difference between let and where? Okay, so again, I will revise these things. So let, generally we use let for the local scope. Okay, okay, so let me open that PPT, yesterday's PPT, so you will get. Okay, so onto the screen you can see the explanation of the let variable. Okay, so let will have the local scope over this parenthesis, but where is not. Okay, so where do we use actually let? For the iteration purpose, like in for loop, we should give the variable in the for loop local scope. So there, or in the while loop also, we will give the scope to the this variable local and this variable global, because nowadays we don't necessarily use var, because var will make the things complicated and it will make the variables global, and it is not good thing to declare variable as a global. Okay, so again in the summary, I will revise these things also. So let is just a use for the local scope. Okay, so and it is useful. Try to use let everywhere, let and const everywhere. Don't use var, because now it is deprecated, but still you can use in the latest version of the JavaScript. Okay, so is anyone having other question? Okay, so Dadu Pratiksha said okay. Okay, so let's move towards the next topic, that is function parameters. Okay, so this is very interesting, and you will see the completely different behavior of the same code or same type. Just removing just one variable, you will see completely different. Okay, so let's see the again code. Okay, so in this code I will first explain the code, because on this line number 1 to 4 I have declared one function print message with the parameters. Now here the concept will come parameters name1 and name2, and I am assigning name1 as the concatenation of the name1 string and the name2, and you know the concept of this concatenation, so that I will not explain. And again I am printing this name1 onto the console. Okay, on the line number 6 I am just declaring two variable name1 and name2, and line number 8 I am just printing this value onto the console name1. Then on the line number 10 I am invoking this function, and on line number 12 I am again printing name1. Okay, so this line number 8 will print the value of the name1 variable before the invoking function. Okay, and after the invoking function, the line number 12 will print the value of the name1 after invoking the function. So line number 8, which is before the execution of the function, and line number 12 is after the execution function. Let's see the difference. Okay, function 4. Okay, correct. Okay, so what should it print? So let's see. Okay, so up to line number 4 we don't have to print anything. Okay, on the line number 6 we are just declaring variable, but on the line number 8 we will print something, name1. Okay, so name1, so it is easily getting Shubham. Okay, so on the output also you can see the value of name1 before calling function Shubham. Yes, great. Up to that point you will understand easily. Name1, it will search into the global scope, and yes, it is getting Shubham, so it is easily printing Shubham. Okay, so after the line number 10 I am invoking the function by passing the name1 and name2 as a parameter. So this Shubham and Nishant will copied over here, copied to the name1 and name2 again. Okay, so this is the parameter we are passing, and this is where we are accessing. Okay, so the next I am changing this name1 to name1 plus name2. Okay, and then logging into the console name1. So what should name1 print? Name1 what is getting? Shubham and Nishan. So it will print concatenation of Shubham and Nishan. Oh, yes. Okay, on the console you can see on the right side, you can see it is printing Shubham and Nishan. Okay, so this function ends and we are on the line number 12. Okay, so after this invoking function, whether there is change made to this global variable? You will say yes, because we are not mentioning here where or let or const, but now the JavaScript will confuse you, but don't worry, I will try to clear your doubt. Okay, so now on to line number 12, the name one, and you think that the name one should change because we are not using where like this. Okay, we are not using where keyword, so it should change. But what you can see in the output on the console, value of name one after calling function is also Shubham. It should be Shubham Nishad because we are uh, concatenate string and storing into the name one. Okay, but what JavaScript is, it will not change anything. Why? Because if you remember the concept in C++ and C only, the these two variables is just copied over this name one, and it don't have access to change the global. Okay, so yes, you will see, you can say, sir, after using here it is local and without it is global, just you have said. Yes, I have said, but look into this carefully. This name one and name two just copied. You can remember the concept of the pass by value. It is just similar like that. We are passing just the value, and this local scope will not give or will not able to change the values because it is just the copy of this global variable. It is just a copy, not the actual. Okay, whenever you pass parameters to the function, it will just copy the values of the global to the name one and name two, not that it will should not change. And you also know the concept of the pass by reference, but this is not the concept, just I am explaining pass by reference, then you can change. Okay, okay, so let's you can see the output of this code is Shubham Nishan and Shubham. Now let's just remove this parameter. Okay, so now it will not make any copy for this print function after removing this parameter to function. Okay, so now you will see the different output. Okay, so on the line number 3 of the console in the right side, you will see Shubham Nishad as output. Before it was just Shubham, you can see on the right side. Okay, but now it is Shubham Nishad because now the function will not create the copy of the parameters. It will directly getting access to the global, because we are not saying use the copy because we are not passing any parameters. It will directly access, and we are not using where. So now it will make effect where it will not able to change that name one global variable, but we are not mentioning that, so it will easily can override the global variable. So that's why name one is changing the global variable, and now we will getting the different output before that. Okay, so this is the concept of the function parameters. You will get it by practicing it. Okay, so let's move towards the next. To avoid mistake, so let me tell you, JavaScript is forgiving language. The meaning of this up to this point, is anyone having any question? Whenever you have any question, just try to put it in chat. I will look into this and will try to give answer. Okay, so anyone have any question? Okay, if you understood this concept also, then please put in your chats, yes sir, I understood, or yes, understood. So that's I came to know that you understand, and I should be easy to move. Okay, so thank you Shital and Naneshwar. So let's move next part. To avoid mistake, as JavaScript is a forgiving language. What is the meaning of the forgiving? Forgiving means you can ignore the semicolon. Okay, so in C++ you can't ignore. It will give an error. But JavaScript is so smart. It will try to understand the whether you should whether you are able to uh, put the semicolon. So on the screen, if you're able to see, the I have written 2 line return, and on to the next line 2 plus 3. Okay, and you have not given the semicolon. So JavaScript, it should return 2 plus 3. Okay, what we think, but the JavaScript think that this return, whenever JavaScript find new line, it will try to put semicolon after this line. Okay, so it will try to put semicolon after return semicolon. Okay, so now JavaScript know the function is returning and it is ending, so it will not return 5 as you expected. So try to use semicolon everywhere. Yes, I know JavaScript forgiving, but don't depend on this because it will create errors and it is very difficult to debug, because you will not get by looking into the code, you will not get this type of error by just observing. And also JavaScript is not giving error, so you have to dry run your code from line to line. Okay, so just try to use the semicolon everywhere. Okay, so next concept we are, this is the concept which is very much, that is function expression, which is very much, or for your React, it is very widely used in the higher level frameworks like React. So I am focusing more on function because the React is totally depend on the function and the classes only. You will see the constructor again also in the next slide or in the next upcoming days. So function expression. So there are basically two types to declare a function in JavaScript. That is function declaration that we all saw up to now. That is mention the keyword function, then the function name, and we are simply alerting hello. Okay. So the second way, it is function expression. Okay. So function expression. So in the JavaScript, first try to understand the function is just a value, not a code structure. Like suppose you have declared a one variable. Okay, so let me show you. Suppose you are declared on the right side. So on the right side of the screen, you will see where a is equal to 10. Okay. Okay. So where a is equal to 10. Just like this variable, how it, what is it doing? It is just taking the value 10 and storing it to the variable a, right? So just similar, this try to apply similar concept to function also. What is it doing? Just taking this code alert hello and placing it into the high. Okay, so high is just a combination of the string. What combination? Function, parenthesis, and the alert hello message. Okay, so just try to imagine function is just a value, not a code structure in only JavaScript language. In other language, it is differently behaving, or it is completely a different structure. But in JavaScript, it is considered it as a string value. Okay, so like this, where yes is equal to hello. Consider function it as this, because JavaScript will also consider it as just a string. Okay, and after so you will see, sir, how it will come to know whether the function is called or not. By you will see, whenever you call function, we put parenthesis in front of this. Okay, so we are putting parenthesis in front of. So from this, JavaScript will come to know it has to call the function, and it is not a string, it is a function. Okay, so we will see that, don't worry. So it is just a value. So let me show you how it can be a value. Okay, so I will not function one. This is function. Okay, I will remove that code and show you. Okay, so how I am saying that the JavaScript will store the function as a value. So how it is storing? So let's see whether it is I'm correctly saying or not. So function having the name hello, which is not taking any parameter, and just printing the string hello. Okay, so and I am on the line number 5. I am again. Now you will know how JavaScript. Okay, so now you can see in the left side. Firstly, see in the left side of the code editor, I am defining one function named with hello, just trying to printing the string hello. On the line number 5, I am trying to put this or trying to call this function, but as I have just said, the JavaScript will consider this as a string. Okay, so let's print this string. If you see output on the right hand side, it is actually printing the whole code. Okay, hello console.log hello, because what I just said, it is just considering it as a value, not a function. Okay, okay. So how JavaScript will know whether it is function? So just try to put, and now you will see the output of this code. Okay, so now you can know that the JavaScript is storing function as a value and not a function. Okay, and you have seen this in the browser also, like in the sources also you can see the one function named show message sometime 15 to 20 times ago. It is actually copying the whole code. Okay, so let's move towards the next part. Okay, so let's go through the theory. Function declaration: if the function is declared as a separate statement in the main code flow. Okay. Okay, so let's go through this exam function expression also. Okay, function expression. Okay, so let me make one variable, and this is not a normal variable, which is function. Okay, and I am just printing. So this is two way to define the or to declare a function in JavaScript. Okay. Okay, so let me call this function. Okay, so now you can see the hello is printed successfully. Okay, so and if you print only a, so you might have guessed what it will print. Okay, so it is actually printing the code. Yes, it is right, because it is considered, and you know that we are storing the string number in let and const. Okay, so it is just a normal variable. Okay, so JavaScript, no, it is normal variable and it is storing is as the string, and you can see that we are printed the same string, but we are trying to say it is not a function. So just put parenthesis and JavaScript will know it is not a variable or value, it is function. Okay, so JavaScript now no, it is function. Let me run, and JavaScript has successfully given the correct answer. Okay, so function declaration: if the function is declared as a separate statement, like first one, it is a separate statement, right? Function hello. But and if the function is created as a part of an expression, it is called a functional expression. So expression is nothing but the declaration of variable. If the function is created as a part of the like declaration of variable, then it is called function expression. Just like the second, let hi is equal to function and alert hello. So if you relate this concept to the execution context, now you can see what it will store for first station in the global scope. Okay, so it will actually work similar to normal variable. Okay, so actually it is storing high as undefined. If you remember the concept of the execution context, now it will store high as a undefined, not. And if you declare the function like this, function hello alert hello, then it will actually copy the code in and store it to the memory section. But now it is function it as a variable. Now it will store the undefined. You if you not get, then we will see that, don't worry. Okay, so let's move to some next advanced concept, that is callback function. And callback function, it is very useful, like whether we have to call a function on certain events, like whenever the user click one button, then we have to call something. Like suppose you have multiple rows, suppose in the Gmail you have many emails at a time, or you can see many emails at a time. So on the each line there are 4 to 5 options, like delete, mark as read. Okay, so when you click on mark as read, how Gmail engine or how Gmail server is know that this email is clicked, so it is actually storing the ID or something like this, and after pressing that button, it is calling one function based on a certain events of the users. Okay, so the concept behind this is callback function. Okay, so this is a easy to understand concept based on the concept of the function. So I will not do the code, I will just explain. Okay, so if you see the first 4 lines onto the PPT itself, it is one function named with ask, and this is taking three parameters: question, yes or no. And if confirm, what is confirm? So in JavaScript, we can create three types of mainly event which is provided by the JavaScript, like confirm, alert, and prompt. Okay, so this is the three event. You will easily learn that, not a big issue. So confirm will just check whether user is able to move ahead or not. Okay, so if confirm question, if after the user press yes, then run this yes function. Okay, so nowhere is yes function. Okay, let's say move ahead, else no. Okay, so function is completed, and then again I have written one new function, show okay, which is alerting you agreed. And then on the next line, show cancel function is similar to just okay, just a different message. And after these three function, I'm actually invoking the function ask. Okay, so it will find ask. Okay, question, what in the question, do you agree is copied to over the question, and in the confirm panel or in the confirm window, you will see the question, do you agree? Yes. And we are what we're passing on in the yes, show okay. So as you know, the function is just a string, so it will copy the show okay directly into the yes, and yes is the copy of the show okay string. Okay, and now so JavaScript yes, and by putting parenthesis, JavaScript will come to know, oh, this is not a variable, this is a function. Okay, so it will show, it will try to find a name with show okay, because we are passing, so it will get it yes you agreed, and yes no, and we are calling the show cancel. Okay, so I am just explained the show okay, so similar to this show cancel is work. Okay, so is anyone having any problem, any question? Please try. Please put your responses into the chat box. Okay, thank you, Pratiksha. Anyone other? The actual meaning of the callback function is like, where when the function user is clicking on the yes, it will running different function, and when the user is clicking on the no in the confirm panel, it will again showing the different. Okay, so this is the callback function, means the function is called back later in the future if necessary. If we need the function to be called in the future, don't include that function directly into the main or directly invoke and try it, but just use this callback function, which is increase your performance. Like it is not calling, suppose we have removed the third parameter show cancel, it will not go to the show cancel, and it is just making a performance greater. Okay, so function callback later in the future. Okay, so whenever you think that okay, so this function will going to use by the user in the future time, so what should we do? Should we write or should we ignore? So just use this concept callback function, and it will increase your performance also, and the user experience or user experience will also be good for your users. Okay, okay, so next move to next concept, arrow function. Okay, so this is the shortcut method to define a function. Okay, so this is very similar to function, so I will just explain. Here I am making the function expression, not function declaration. Now you know the difference between function declaration and function expression. Again revise, function expression is just a statement having the string as a functional value. Okay, so let's go. This is function declaration, the like the normal function, and this is the function expression, which is using the variable. Okay, so arrow function is the shortcut way to define a function. Like you can see on this screen, there is a function named with sum, which is taking two parameter a and b and giving output as a plus b. Okay, so focus on the concept, the syntax you will learn from anywhere. So sum is the function name getting the parameter a and b and giving output as a and a plus b. So you might have a question, sir, whether it should be have one liner function, or we can write many. So yeah, of course you can write many line function, just include the parenthesis in front of this a and close this parenthesis. But then you specifically have to mention the return keyword, and you know the meaning of the return, which is used for returning some value from the function. Okay, so just then you have necessarily put return, and if you don't want to return anything, or you don't want to return anything, so just make it one liner like this sum, and small function you can define like this small sum maximum. Okay, so maximum, for maximum we will having the different JavaScript method like splice. We will see that in the next slides also. Okay, so this sum is the similar to function which I commented below it. Let sum is equal to function which is taking parameter a and b and returning a plus b, which is similar. You can see this is the 3-line code, and this is just a 1 line of code. So it is more readable also, like taking the a and b and argument and then calculating the summation of these two variables. Okay. Then next we will move towards some concept or some operations on the array. Array is just, if you compare with the Python list, like it is dynamic, and you don't have to show that this is the size. You can dynamically type an array. So in the JavaScript, the array can store any type of elements, like any data type it can store. Like here you can see on the screen, I have stored array as value 1, which is number, then sham, which is a string, and then in the third argument or third element of the array, which is an object. We'll see the what is object. So it just consider it as a different data type, which is object name Shubham, and fourth, which is false, which is Boolean value. Okay, so now you can see that the array can store the different values. Okay, so and you know the concept of the array iteration, or what is array, whether it is contiguous or non-contiguous, you know that concept. So I will not cover that. I will just focus on the main concept. Okay, so these are the 4 operations that we can perform onto the array, that is push, pop, shift, and unshift. What is the meaning of the push? If you remember the stack push, appending the element to the last. Okay, so in the array, if you want to push anything, then array dot push, it is similar. You can see the syntax, but I'm trying to cover one concept that you will get to know in the next slide. So push, just add element to the array at the end. Pop, just remove the element from the end. Okay, in the stack we are removing from the end only, and in the similar way we are pushing at the end, or popping the element from the end. Okay, so just reverse this concept, push and pop, you will get shift. So what is shift? Shift is to remove the first element of the array. Okay, shift is just used for the removing the first element. And what is unshift? Add first element. Okay, so unshift meaning that add this element on the index number 0. Okay, so suppose you are to add 0 in this array ARR, then you should use ARR dot unshift and the element you want to insert. So let's revise. Push is used to add element at the end, pop is used to remove element at the end, and shift is used for to remove first element. Okay, this keyword will confuse you, but after the practice we'll get to know. And unshift is used to add first element. Okay, so from this I have one question for you. So which methods are fast? From these 4, push, pop, shift, unshift, apply the concept of the array here and tell me which methods are fast from these 4. This is multiple choice answer, so this can be. So Uddhav Gavane raise hand. Yes, Uddhav, you want to say anything? Okay, so just try to give an answer. Which methods of this push, pop, shift, unshift? I will again revise. Push meaning add element to the end. Pop means remove element from the end. Shift means remove first element. The shift and unshift is working on the left side of the array, that is the starting point, and push and pop are working on the right hand side of the array. By applying the concept of the array, an array is a contiguous. So with related to that, tell me from these four, which methods are fast? Okay, so Rushikesh is saying pop is fast. Okay, any other want to give an answer? Just try to use the concept of the array, which is contiguous, and for the push we are appending element at the end, and for pop we are removing element from the end. Okay, so any other want to give an answer? It may be wrong. Yes, try to just give an answer. Anyhow, I will explain, but try to give an answer so that you will get easily. Okay, so Pratiksha has saying shift. Okay, so I will again wait for 10 seconds and then I will move ahead. Okay, so let me explain this concept, which methods are fast. Okay, so actually push and pop are the fastest and shift and unshift are the very much slow. So why? Because the array, we are storing array in the contiguous. You know that contiguous means continuous memory we are allocating this array. Suppose one which is having data type as integer, which is we are taking 4 bytes and we will store the 4 bytes, that is 32 bits in the memory. Okay, so just like that, the array is storing the contiguous memory location, continuously allocating memory. Okay, so push, what push does? It add element at the end, and you know that if you want to add element at the end of the array, it is taking constant time, just big of 1. It is taking constant time. Just you have to increase the length of the array plus array length plus, and then by putting index, and you will easily get index in the constant time. So push will take the constant time. Okay, and pop similar to this, just remove the element from the end, and we here in push and pop we don't have to shift array element towards left or towards right. Okay, you and in the shift and unshift, you know that whenever we want to remove first element from the array, then from the next element we have to shift that other elements to front. Okay, to 0th index. Okay, so we don't have, or we cannot have array with the starting from the index 1. Okay, so we should have the array from starting at the index 0. So that's why the shift and in shift process we are removing first element, but after the first removing the first element we have to shift other all array elements one place to the left side. Okay, so the similar concept is you can use for the unshift, which is add first element. If you want to add first element, then you have to make some space for adding that element, and for making that space you have to shift all the elements to right side. Okay, so just apply the concept of C++ and see how we are adding the element at the index 0, and at the index removing the element as 0. We have to shift the rest of the element towards the right side for in the case of the shift and unshift, but we don't have to move any element for push and pop because we are removing the element at the end of the array. Okay, so you all get it this concept or not? Just try to put the answer, understood or not understood. This is just the name given, that is shift and unshift to remove and add first element to the array. Because array is contiguous, that's why this problem has came, that we have to shift the all element towards the right side in case of the unshift and towards the left side in the case of shift. So Sakshi, Jadhav Pratiksha said, okay sir, got in shift whole index position will be changed. Yes, correct. And in push pop on last limit operation perform. Yes, Pratiksha, correct. In the push and pop we are performing option on the last index, so it is in the constant time, and for the shift and unshift we are performing the on the index 0. So that's why for from index 1, we have to shift all the element to the left side. Thank you, Sakshi, Sheetal. Okay, so next we will move to next. Okay, so iteration. So how you can iterate over the array? There are basically three methods in the JavaScript. You can see onto the screen. First, which is a normal I is equal to 0, I is less than array length, I plus plus. Second one is somewhat different. Okay, so for let item of array, so it is taking each item of the array. So from the reading this line, you will not take one item of the array. Okay, one by one item it will take. Okay, so next iteration it used in JavaScript is for let I in arr. Let take one element at a time from the array. So we will not, sir, there are three. Which should we use? Okay. So let me answer. The first method, that is the first line for let I is equal to 0, I is less than arr dot length I plus, it is good because it will give you the index value. You can get the index value from I is equal to 0, then I is equal to 1, I is equal to 3, and you will also get the element by arr of 1, arr of 0. Yes, simple array operation. Okay. Next, for let item of arr, what will be the problem? We will not get the index, like from which position our element is present. We will not get that from this second. For let item of r, you will not see the we are starting from the 0. It is just taking one item at a time and giving you that item. If you don't want to if you don't want index of that item, then use this second for loop. But if you want the index, at which index your element is present, then use first. And if you don't want to get an index, then use second. So what is third? So third is a for let I in arr. So this for loop is generally used for the objects in JavaScript. We will go see. But what the drawback it has, it will give all the properties that are present for the object in arr, and you have to iterate, or for JavaScript will iterate over the all the properties, and actually it is 10 to 100 times slower. Okay, so this is for third for loop. Don't use this in case of array. In case of array, don't use this third for let I in arr because it is very slower. That is 10 to 100 times, which is very large. Like suppose you visit amazon.in, then you should as soon as possible you should get the element present on your screen. Like you can't wait to 2 or 3 seconds or more than that based on your internet speed. Of course you can wait 2 and 3, then you will shift to the Flipkart. Of course, if Amazon is not giving the fast result. Okay, so performance is very necessary in today's world. Okay, so try to use the code which is more accurate or more giving you the performance over the others. And whenever you use, just ask the question to yourself, why I am using this, whether it has any advantage over the other or not. If not, then search different types and use that. If not, use the current one. Okay, so third one is slowest because it iterating over all the properties of the array, like length. We have array for the length, index position at each index position. There are many other you can see in the browser. In the case of array, there are many 100 to 200 properties for the array in JavaScript. So that's why it is very much slower. So whenever you encounter this situation, just try to use first one, which is similar. Okay. Okay, so array methods. So I just said the array is very much similar to objects in JavaScript. So objects, if you know the JSON or any other objects in the other languages also, like dictionary in Python, it is just storing the value in the key and pair form. Okay, so let me just show you the one example. A is equal to name. Okay, so I have declared one object. So this is the simple object with the key as a name and the value as a Sham. So this is called the object in JavaScript. We will see all the methods also, and the object is very much useful in your web development or in the backend web development journey. Okay, so what are the array methods? Like in array, we should able to insert array, we should able to delete array, okay, delete element. Okay, so if you see on the screen, we have one code written, that is array is equal to I go home, which is a 3 element in the array, and we are deleting element at the first index. So which is first index? The JavaScript will literally have index starting from 0. Okay, so 0 I first go, so it will delete go. Okay, and what should remain in the array? I and home, but it will not, it will again give you the length as a 3, because it should give 2. Okay, let's see it in the browser. I will just zoom it for you. Okay, in the right side of the screen, you can see that I am declaring one array 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, I declared this array. Okay, so just delete ARR of 1. Okay, so it is giving true, and after ARR of 1 it will give undefined. Okay, so now I have deleted one element. So what should be the length of this array? Now currently, before the declaration of the time, it is having the length 1 2 3 4 and 5. Yes, it is having length 5, but after I deleting one element, it should be 2. Okay, so no, it is still 5. Okay, so the reason is that the JavaScript, the array is very much behaving similar to objects. Okay, and in objects you can easily delete, because it's a key and value. You can easily delete the value by using key, and you don't have to anything like undefined. The object is a different concept, we'll call that. But in the array, you cannot use delete ARR1. It will give the still same length. It should give the length as 4, but it is not giving. It's just replacing the value of 1th index 2, which is 2, to it is overriding value as undefined. Okay, so this is not good way to delete or to handle with the array. So the next question will be, sir, how you can, or how we will delete the element or add the element into the array. So what is the method, or what is the problem with the normal method that we have just seen? Okay, so arrays are nothing but objects in JavaScript, and you know the syntax of JavaScript. Compare the array to the object in the JavaScript. Okay, so the problem is because of the objects is working very differently and array is differently, but JavaScript has made the concept similar. It is declaring, or it is introduce arrays similar to like objects, and for that the JavaScript should give you the some methods to delete and to add the elements. Okay, so this is the concept that we will going to see, and this is the last concept of the today's workshop. So splice. So splice, there is also slice also. So splice is the latest one, and it is very efficient over the slice. So what slice is doing? Okay, so if you want to use slice, then on the screen you can see the syntax of the slice. AR.slice. First argument that we have to mention is the starting index. It is starting index, date the number of delete count. How many number you want to delete, that you should provide to the second argument, and the third argument, what number of elements you want to enter. Okay, so with the example, you can see I have declared one name, and I have declared one array with the name ARR is equal to element I am attending workshop now. This is the string array consisting of 5 elements. Okay, then I am using splice. So, and in splice I am providing argument first as a 0. So I am saying JavaScript, please start from 0. Okay, JavaScript will okay, it will start from the I. Next it will 3. So what is 3? It is delete count. So I am saying to JavaScript, delete I first 2 and 3, delete I am attending. So JavaScript will delete this. Okay, and whatever we will provide next to that argument 3, this will replace I am attending. Okay, so let's dance will replace I am attending. Okay, so let's see it in the browser. Okay, so let me declare one array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have declared one array. Let's use array dot splice. I'm starting from 0 to deleting 3 element and replacing that first 3 element, that is 1, 2, 3 to 10, 12, 14. Okay. Okay, so this splice, what it will return, it will return the deleted element. Okay, so now if you print the array, okay, so there is some mistake in the syntax, let me check. Okay, so I have already declared the one variable before, so I have cleared that, so that's why it is not giving a correct output, because ARR we have declared while explaining this concept, so that's why it is not giving the correct answer. And when you close this browser, the all the variable get deleted, and then you will able to get the correct result. It should give the result ARR1 as we are deleting from 0, 3 element we are deleting. That means 1, 2, 3 should be deleted, and in place of that you should add 10, 12, 14. So output will be 10, 12, 14, 4 and 5. Okay, so similar this you can also see it on the PPT. We are starting. I will repeat the splice syntax again. The first argument we are passing is the index, from which index the JavaScript will start. So 0. Now I am saying JavaScript delete first 3 elements. Okay, so JavaScript will delete I am attending and replace that I am attending with the let's and dance. So the output will give let's dance workshop now. Okay, so it will give this output. Okay, so this is all from my side. If you have any question, then let me know in the chat box. Okay, so if you have any doubt in today's session, please try to put it on the chat box so I can answer. Whenever you find, just try to use the splice in play. You will find the slice method also, but which is not very efficient. So try to use the splice only. Okay. Thank you, Shital, Pratiksha, Vaishnavi, Rushikesh. Okay, thank you for giving the answer and being with me this 1.5 hour, I think. Okay, 1.5 hour. So thank you all. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. I'm done from my side. Hello.
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 Okay, sir. So it was very nice presentation, and I hope that all of the students got the concept. If anybody having any doubt, then they can put that question into the chat box. So I think, sir, will extend this seminar for 5 minutes. If any student having any doubt, then that can put in the chat box. Is there any doubt for any student right now? Hello.
Sir, your voice is somewhat breaking.
Hello. Hello. Okay, so I hope that nobody should have any doubt. So let us conclude the today's session, and we'll start tomorrow's session at 11 a.m. at the regular time. Okay, sir. Nice presentation. Okay, let us conclude the session. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.